Nice. Okay. Well, I want to talk about the posture, the gesture of the educator, the pedagogic. What?
Marcus got a question, hand up.
Ah, okay. Let's go, Marcus.
Sorry, just very quickly, what did you mean by the activity of changing dreams? For the trunk area, the filling area.
Yeah. Well, the situation bring the eyes images, and this 12 sense capture the images and the sounds and the feelings, and this kind of stuff is transformed by the images of memory, and the child is stuck with this kind of images. When we bring activities like singing together in a wheel, this is another image.
Okay.
You know?
Or
and
storytelling.
This image, storytelling, circle time, the smile of you, the painting, everything you do in this field of meeting of the child, bring new images to the child, and at the night, the child can assess this kind of image.
Yeah, thank you. That makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. And for me, it's so important to understand the pedagogical law proposed by Steiner at the practical course of the teachers, GA 294. And briefly, the action of the educator's self influences the child's physical astral body. The action of the psychic astral body acts on the vital body, a child's etheric body. And the action of the educator's etherical vital body acts on the child's physical body in the field of the actions. Let's consider the importance of the social space of welcome, so that feelings of the treat are dissolved. For example, clear gestures and tone of voice are important factors. In a space like this, children have their senses superactivated to capture what the educator will offer. In my experience, it is necessary to speak very, very little. Children activate the perceptions of the sense of movement, the sense of perception of the self of the mother, perception of the internal attitudes that generate the speech before speak something. Remember the topic discussed in the previous meeting. See more than the physical, visible being, see the big picture. Develop the image of the human being, broaden the view with the contributions of the anthroposophy, which is the science from which Waldorf education structures it is contribution to the child view, the image, the big image picture, with the lens of the threefold human organism. So I want to share with you some activity. One of the activities is a short activity. And after me, Kimo, we will start another activity. Okay? So please take your paper in front of you. The black pencil and color pencil. Let's start. Okay. So I just can't see anymore. So if you want to talk something, please, Kiki, open your mic and say something, okay? I just can't see anymore.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, we don't hear you if you're far away from
no,
the.
okay, you can hear me?
Now we can.
Yeah.
Just
My
repeat.
phone is without is Bluetooth.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, you hear me? Okay.
Just repeat what you said for the first instruction, please.
When I work with the paper like this portrait, okay. When we work in paper like this, we are bring the uh, force of thought, neurosensorial. And when we do something in landscape with the paper, with the position paper in landscape, I'm inviting the forces of the feeling, rhythm, breathing. Okay? So we will do our work in portrait. Okay? In portrait. So here is your paper. This is your paper, okay? And you get your black pencil, yeah, and I will do something here and you just repeat after me. And let's go. Little dots, aleatory. Okay, let me see. Let me put your paper in front of your face. Okay. Okay, Jennifer. Okay, nice, great. Anna, little bit more close, please. Yeah. Put more more dots, please. A little bit more dots. Aleatory. Nice, Marcus. Okay, nice, great. Pay attention, next step. Next step. Okay, nice, 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 Jackie. Pay attention. Let's make connections. Connections. And you can cross the lines like that. Okay? Be free to make connections. Different kind of connections. Crossing lines to do connections. Okay, let me see. Nice, Anna. Let me see. Oh, Jackie, Morris, Anna, Maggie, Annabelle, Jennifer, Marcus, Deborah, Megan, Kiki. Wonderful, beautiful. Okay, next step. Now I will invite some colors to this draw. You can do with this kind of material or what you have. Color pens, okay? And I will find a place to green, for example. Green. And feel free to bring colors with your paper. Orange. Red. Yellow. Blue. Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I? Marry a soul, she's sailing a day over the sea, through sky. Okay, we can see. Oh, Meg, wonderful. Beautiful, Anna. Marcus, nice. Like different kind of colors, forms, images. Very interesting. Okay, nice. Okay, great. Nice. Let me show you some other steps we can do with the children. Just show for you. We can do with the more power of the rhythm system, the feeling when we we work with the landscape paper, okay? And when we do with weaves like that, curves, okay? Same thing. Bring color to the intersection. Different experience. Landscape with curves. Weaves. Wave. Wave. And so on. And another step. Another step with the children. It's like that. We can do lines, 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 lines. And with the color, we can create different connections like that. Okay?
I have a question. Sorry.
Yes, yeah,
I wonder actually, I mean, it doesn't feel, for me, it doesn't feel as nice as the waves, but actually, I was thinking for a traumatized child, maybe it
yeah,
actually really lights in the straightness of the lines and then to create connection. Maybe for a
yeah,
traumatized child, it would have been the chaos.
yeah. Here with this kind of activity, my focus is neural system, the power of thinking, and bring feelings to the thoughts, you know? I bring concentration eye with the lines, and every time every time the eyes find the intersection, I invite the eye to the body, you know? Intersections. So this activity is more neurosensory, but with the colors and this kind of game of create different connections with colors. I bring feeling, I bring warmth to the neural system, like blood to the neurological system, okay? Like oxygen in the neurological system with the blood.
Mhm.
3 types of activity. When I work with the watercolor painting in wet paper, the focus is rhythmic system. Okay? It's important to understand these different qualities. When I work with the, Kimo will show you in practical terms. And Paulo, Paulo bonito, Paulo is metabolical job. Okay? When I do Paulo is a performance, neurological performance with fingers. It's hard to do. Okay? It's funny. Paulo, bonito, Paulo. In other words, metabolical activity with the body brings joy, rhythm system, feelings in neurological. But the focus, metabolic system. Clear for you guys? Nice. Mm-hmm. Well, we have 5 minutes to hear from you. What the perceptions? What do you discover? Something new come up for you?
I have an observation with this sort of stuff. There's no critical thinking. It's just sort of the experience. And so when you're going to shading, you're shading these almost abstract shapes, and there's some I guess conscious thought sort of moves into the background, and you're just engaging with the task at hand, and it feels really relaxing. I was a bit annoyed that I had to move to the next task because I wanted to finish mine.
Yeah, Marcus. And the time of contemplating all the draws is very important, because I see the symptoms in Marcus, for example. When I shake his hand in the circle time, I feel something. I feel the feelings of the Marcus. In this time, when he's finished the work, I can see directly in his eyes and say, Marcus, wonderful job, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, you understand, Marcus. And the child feels something came from my eye,
Mm-hmm.
the power of my eye directly to the astral body, because I bring with me the big image of the human being. Is so powerful, so powerful.
Right.
It's focusing, it's concentration, bringing that concentration to that task without the worries of the outside world. So that in itself is bringing the child to themselves and a
Yeah.
feeling of themselves as well, because like you say, that is what I have done.
Yeah, what I have done. Yeah.
I feel it myself.
Yeah. Nice, Anna.
And could I just say that when we started it, as a teacher, I'm so used to draw. When you draw a picture, when you pick up pencils or crayons, you're drawing a picture of something, and you're always trying to develop artistic qualities in the children. So it was, when you started, it seemed so random, just dots and then joining them and then random colors together. Like it wasn't a picture of something. You know? But then I'm suddenly imagining you're in a situation where you have these traumatized children. You have no language with them. You can't teach them the skills of how to draw the sun or a tree or a wave, right? So it is mechanical in that sense, but it's something you can do together, and they can follow you easily. And so as we got into it, that's what I really experienced, was the way the color then, as you say, brought soul and feeling into the lines and the shapes. And so it really, I really got it, that it's like a universal language of drawing rather than a specific educational one of a picture of something. So thank you. That was really, yeah, very illuminating. Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew. And the question is, if you don't talk Arabic, what do you do?
Exactly.
And if you have just one day, 1 hour, and you don't talk Arabic, what do you do? This kind of question I bring with me. Yeah. Okay. Somebody want to talk a little bit more
I would like to
about
share
your
something.
Nice.
So that kind of artwork, yeah, you'll find in probably on every page from my university scribbles, because while listening to the lecture, I always scribble, and you would write in these notebooks with the squares. So I would fill them in and color them in while listening and trying to make notes. And it's an interesting thing because I work in a school for children with moderate to severe disabilities, and having that doing art without too high expectations on something, like a tree or, like a house or an animal or whatever it is. And this is the kind of art that brings them into that flow and that rhythm. And the moment, Paulo, when you started singing, that was the moment I really joined in. You couldn't listen, but and that was the moment when I really started to feel, okay, now I feel really good about what I'm doing. Because I didn't have to think about whether it's a real tree or, does the bunny really look like a bunny or more like a horse kind of situation, And
Yeah.
for my school setting, that's exactly what works, I guess. Yeah.
Nice. And I always sing something in this moment, in watercolor painting, in this time of art, because I wanna build a peaceful environment with confidence, not judgment, And always I recognize the progress and the beauty in every jobs with the child. And I always singing with a smile, softness, Anna? It's very important.
Yes, Paula, I wanted to ask a question. At what
Okay.
age would you do this work? What age of children would you do this work with? What age?
What age?
Yes, age.
From 7 years. It's possible. It's better after 8 years. You can feel. But 7 years, 8 years, it's possible. Well, I invite Kimo. It's time, right, Kiki? Kimo, are you ready?
Yes, I am, Paulo. And
Okay,
thank you for your presentation.
go ahead. Thank you.
I don't know whether we need to stretch a bit. We have been seated for the last 1 hour or so. You can stretch in your own way, and then I can guide after a minute. Take your 1 minute to stretch. Okay, thank you so much, team. Thank you so much, Paulo, for the wonderful presentation. I would like to introduce myself to the team. My name is Paul Kimeu. I work for Waldorf Kakuma project in Kenya. So right now I'm live from Kakuma refugee camp. So I will be taking you through an activity that is hands-on. But before then, we can do an activity together. And I hope your mics are mute because I would like to demonstrate. And so you can see me. So while I'm standing, I flap my hands on my laps and I sing a song. Se corre. Se corre. Se corre. Sa. Se corre. Sa. And then you turn to your right. Si manga. Turn to the left. Si manga. 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 This is an activity that is well done if you are standing in a circle with children, and it can be done by mixed gender, but also you have to be very cautious because of different cultures, because when you are doing the manga, you have to touch the back of the person standing next to you facing the other side. So you are touching the back downwards, manga, manga. But you know, some cultures, people, you know, they don't allow to be touched. So you have to be very, very cautious. If they don't allow touching, maybe you can just do like this without touching anyone, just to demonstrate. So that was just a demonstration, and we can do it together. So wherever you are, we can stand. Okay. So I do, and then you do. Se kore. Se kore. We do 2 times. Okay, so I start 2 times and then you do. Se kore. Se kore. Se kore sa. Se kore sa. Si manga. Si manga. 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 Okay, so I do now in full, and then now we can do it together. Okay. Se kore. Se kore. Se kore sa. Se kore sa. Si manga. Si manga. 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 Now we can do together. 1, 2, start. Se kore. Se kore. Se kore sa. Se kore sa. Si manga. Si manga. 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 Thank you so much. You can get seated. So at this moment, we are going to do an activity that is on God's eye. We are going to make an object, and it's an object that is connected to it's a ritual object at first done by the people from Mexico. It's called God's eye, and this is the object that we are going to do. And you can see that it has 4 corners, symbolic of the 4 elements of earth, wind, fire, and water. I know Paulo would want to speak about the 4 elements I've just mentioned, about water, earth, wind, and fire in Waldorf. And also these corners represents the 4 the four parts of the, you know, the compass, the north, south, east, and west. And with this object, it's called God's eye. As I've said, it was at first done by the people from Mexico, and they associated with prayers for their children. From the activity that Paulo has just done, we have seen that there was the Paulo activity that involved the use of our fingers, and it was timely because we are going to do an activity using our fingers. And I know at this time you have your yarn. We were requested to have yarn. I have mine here with me, and I hope you have your yarn. Let me see. Thank you, Anna. And we also have the sticks, because this is an activity that we are going to do with the yarn and the sticks. So I hope you have that. I am going to demonstrate. This is an activity that you can use different colors of yarns. You are not limited to any color. You can use as many colors as you would wish. And it's an activity that can be done by children from the age of 6 years all the way to and above. It can be done by such children, and it stimulates. It is an activity that stimulates the brain, and also activates the fine motor skills as we work with our fingers and our hands. So without starting with any color, you have your two sticks and you have to make them like this, like a cross. And then with a string, you just want to tie at the middle. And when you are tying at the middle, you don't make it so tight, and also at the same time you don't make it loose. So it has to be flexible. So with our strings, let's make our tie at the middle of it. And then I have something like this. Okay. Then with this, we are going to do, you roll it to the first stick, like for this one, over and under. I repeat again, with a string, this string, I hope you can see. Let me push it next to the screen. And over, and then to the next stick, over, like that. We're going on clockwise. So it's over, and then to the next stick, over, to the next one, over, like that. I don't know, at that point, do we have someone who is left behind so that we move at the same time? Thank you, Anna. So we can continue with over. On to the next stick. The stick runs over. That is over. To the next stick. Let's do together. And then at this time, I will give you a bit of like 5 minutes to continue like that over to the next stick. And then at some point, you don't have to use one color. At any given time, you can cut your string. I have a pair of scissors here. So I can, at any given time, I will cut the string and then add another color, and I continue the process over to the next stick like that. And then at the end, we will have an object like this. So I will give like 3 to 5 minutes. We can continue like that so that we make such object. And at any point, if you have any question or you are stuck, then just unmute yourself and you can ask. Otherwise, let's do the activity within 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I think we can come back. We may not be able to complete the whole object, but the idea was just to demonstrate and see how it's we can do this activity with children. Yeah.
Meg, did you just do that in 5 minutes? Honestly?
This one?
I'm going to blame
Yes.
my wool. I've got really thin wool. Meg, that's crazy.
Oh,
You guys, I'm a handwork teacher.
She's a professional.
Wow.
I gotta stick to
Meg, wow. Marcus, what was the experience?
Well, I haven't done this sort of thing since I was 6 or 7, and I just think I'll stick to the music and drama. I'll stick to my strengths, and people like Meg can do this sort of stuff. But I enjoyed it.
You've got to stretch your things to become a full
Yes.
balanced being.
Get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, okay. That's a good experience. And the good thing with this activity, you can use local available materials. You don't have to use expensive materials. You can the strings, whatever is available at the local environment can be used with children, and also the sticks. You don't have to buy. So these are activities that can be done with yeah. I can see markers, just sticks from the local environment, and within the 5 minutes, the 3 to 5 minutes that you are doing, when you are working with children, there was total silence within the team. But when you are working with children, you have to create something for them, and a song works better as they carry on with the activity, because it involves a lot of concentration. And there is the Paulo talked of the neurological performance, and you have to connect it to the brain and your fingers. So as the children work it out, it enhances that concentration. So you have to create a song for them. If you can play a guitar like Paulo, you can play a guitar or sing a song as they continue doing. Otherwise, when you are working with a large group of children like we do here in Kakuma, then children may start some other things with children. But when you create that song, it is soothing and therapeutic at the same time. So that is the activity that I wanted us to do. Maybe we can have questions and maybe experiences, and possibly Paulo, I don't know whether you can talk about the 4 elements that we talked about, that are symbolized by the God's eye, the elements of earth, wind, fire, and earth. Kiki, your hand is up.
Yeah, I would like to ask, how do you teach it the best way? Do you let them turn the cross, or do you hold it first up, tell them to hold it up and then go around and over? What is your best way of teaching it? Because I find sometimes they do, if they go reverse or something, the pattern changes, they double up, stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you, Kiki, for the question. You have to, when you are working with children, you have to be very patient, because there's no better way of doing, with children. Any way of doing it's just okay. But with time, they will do as you would wish. So it is very important that you demonstrate to them how to do it. And some of them, you have to really get closer to them, and not now like a group demonstration, but as you demonstrate within the group on how to, use the stick and, move it over, under, and then turn it. It might seem easy for us, but for the children, it is not easy. And especially for children who have gone through traumatic experiences, it is not easy for them. But as I've said, you have to be very, very patient with these children. And at times, it really goes to one-on-one demonstration. And if you are 2 or 3 within the group, even better, because you can be able to get support from the rest. They may not get from you the right way, but with someone else they get. But at the beginning, allow, be very flexible, allow for, they make it this way, the way they want, and it may not turn out as you would wish, but with time it turns out to be good.
Okay, thank you. And for the left-handers, they figure out that they go the other way around.
Yes, it is also good for you as you demonstrate. You have to accept that children are dynamic. There are those with, the left-sided, and and they can do it, they can do it with their left hand and or their right hand. So in any way they do it. The essence of this activity, it's not how beautiful it will turn, but just to stimulate their brain and activate their fine motor skills. So if they do it from the left or the right, the better. It doesn't have to turn out to be, very interesting, very colorful, but you have activated their senses.
Just a comment for me on the process, if it's okay, was I found such enormous sense of rightness laying each strand next to the previous, like being really careful that they just stacked right up next to the next one. And I thought, wow, I think that would be very supportive in a trauma situation. That rhythmic, I just like straight away just went into a zone.
Yeah. It's very good. Thank you for that, Meg. And some of them, when they are doing, they might put it on top of on top here, and they continue like that. But as Meg has said, it's very important that we keep the rhythm. Rhythm is very, very important for children who have undergone trauma, because it gives you that sense of routine. So for this activity, it's important that they put the string just beside the previous one, so that it creates that rhythm, but not on top of the other string. Okay. Paulo, are you with us? And would you wish to talk about the 4 elements?
Yeah, well, I'm such a fan of this activity, Kimil. Yeah, I remember I offer this activity, Ojos de Dios, in Ecuador, with hundreds of children, and I was with material for working with 300 of children. But over there was thousands of children, more than 2,000. And I see the environment, and I see the bamboo, skinny bamboo, and I cut hundreds of bamboos and continue to do with the children. And we can do with different kind of materials. And I make a research about this activity. And I found a author, Diane Thomas, with this book. I can write for you guys to try to find. Diana Thomas published this book in 1975 in Phoenix, Arizona, and bring our information, some very interesting information. These ojos de Dios, originally made in North America by the Pueblo and Mexican Indians. On a recent trip to Northern Europe, the author found 200 years old ojos de Dios in museums of Scandinavia, Poland, Finland, around the world. And we have registers the 6,000 years old ojos de Dios. Very interesting. And in this book, she shared some images like this one. Different ways of do ojos de Dios. Very interesting. And when you have time to do, and when you have time, we're talking about the pedagogy orientated to trauma in long periods of time. You can bring an epoch of ojos de Dios with 7 encounters and develop different ways of do ojos de Dios. But in the environment of catastrophe, you have 3 days, 6 days with the children. So you can be simple with the activities. But it's very nice because bring powers already in body. So you can show the movements and the body, recover the movements inside the body. Look, when you walk, your movement, your hands movement is like that. Okay? When you walk, the footsteps make circles for inside the foot, circles inside, and the arms outside. Did you see that? So we have movements in our body. And ojos de Dios invite the movements in the activity. So the body remember the movements. You just show the movements and stay beside the children. And sometimes put your hands helping the movements, and the movement will bring the results. We can talk different ways of this kind of activity, but it's powerful. So let's see our time, Kiki. We have now time to
It's
And
some.
Paulo, it's
Yes.
sorry, it's also important that when you are working with children and you make such an object, you can have them carry it at home, or you can, if it is in a class setup, maybe you can display. It is important that you display the objects for them, in class, because it gives them that sense of ownership, and they are proud that this is my work. If they can take it home, well and good. If you can display it in class, then every time they get in class, they're able to identify themselves with the work that they have done, and they are proud of it. Thank you.
Very important, Kimel. And I think it's very important the moment of circle. Everyone bring your ojos de Dios, like this one. Let me show you. And I invite the children in a circle. Put your ojos de Dios here, like that, and everybody in circle will see each other, ojos de Dios. And I know Marcus have some kind of difficulties in this process. So I see directed his work and say for everybody, look like what wonderful way of you find, Marcus, to do that. The colors are so great. The sticks, incredible. So the smile came up and he thinking, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good with this. It's very important, this moment in circle, and you recognize the success of the job. It's very interesting, Kimo. So I want to share with you some ideas of activities came up from the field. We have some pictures, and I think it's very important to share with you. What do you think, Kiki?
Yes, I think it's wonderful. Deborah, maybe we can just clarify, do we have 2.5 hours or 3? What were you planning?
Well, I think more 1 hour or half hour is enough.
Another?
I can share the images in 15 minutes. We can talk a little bit and we can finish.
Okay, great. And if you want to, I can also in between, if we get too tired, I've got a small little game that we can play. So all good. We didn't hear you, Deborah.
Let's go. Okay. Wait a second. Here we go. It works, Kiki? Okay. It's right in Portuguese, I will translate. So some methodology process. Sometimes you just bring our company to let the people bring the feelings. like that, like these photos. Expressing their experience, and just stay there to listen is enough. Free draws, water painting, free water painting, dynamic forms, different kinds of creative expressions, singing together, make music with different kind of instruments, dancing, modeling, take care of the senses, sense of the touch, with different kinds of activities, sense of life, feeling better, sense of movement, balance, body geography, different ways of touch or body contact, massage if it's possible. Take care of the rhythm. What?
Sorry to interrupt. I'm always with the body touch. We obviously have to be very aware of sexual abuse and things like that. So it's just important to remember always to ask for permission and be very, very careful with that. As wonderful as it is, but we just have to be mindful of that.
Of course, Kiki. Very important. And take care of the rhythm, empower the vital forces with the rhythm, the etheric body. Take and given, thinking about the structure of the activities of the day. Just walk around with the children. Finger play games. Jump. Sports. Eurythmy, if it's possible. Talk. Stories. Yarns, activities. Dynamic draws. Hands-on jobs. Different kind of circle times. Different possibilities to feel the success on the activities. confidence in others and the self, encouragement, and make plans to the other day, to the next day. Make plans. We sit together tomorrow at morning in circle time. We do the same activities. I see you tomorrow. It's very important. Social competences with the games. Pay attention by the food, the nutritional stuff, relaxing, take care of the spiritual feelings or dogmas, be careful. Simple projects like bring water to the activity. Build something. That's it. Some images to bring creativity. Wow. Okay. That's it, Kiki.
Okay.
That's it.
Any questions? I think it's time to have a little bit of a discussion, and then we can still maybe do.
Yeah.
That was very fast going.
Remember, we have the circle time to finish our day. Okay?
I just spoke to Deborah. We can let it end organically. Yeah, question.
Paulo, that was fantastic seeing it in practice. Just interested in the actual, could you just briefly tell us where some of those interventions were, which countries, how long you were there, a little bit about your story. Just be fascinated how you began and just your own personal journey through it. I think for all of us listening, it sounds very challenging and very difficult, imagining ourselves being in those situations personally. So I'd just be interested in very briefly, a little bit your background, what you brought to it, and then some of those interventions and how you grew personally through those experiences.
Okay. Well, I'm a Waldorf pedagogue, and I study traditional pedagogy here in Brazil, presentially. But the leitmotif, my aim with the pedagogy was to bring the Waldorf researches, the knowledge of the Waldorf pedagogy to the environments with the no scholar environments, with different kind of social projects. That's what was I'm thinking to Waldorf education. And in these different projects here in Brazil, I'm in Brazil, I met Bernd Huff and try to bring the emergency pedagogy to Brazil. And with Reinaldo Nascimento, we found we are the founders of the Emergency Association Pedagogy here in Brazil. And I was in Ecuador after the earthquake, working with a team, international team. And after that, my dedication is in Brazil. We have so much works in Brazil. Recently, in the south of our country, we got the Rio Grande do Sul situation, and we make an intervention 30 days, a month of intervention with 30 volunteers here in Brazil. Was a huge and complex operation, and I'm staying in Brazil. Okay.
And what was the outcome of those 30 days?
What can you understand?
Sorry, you said 30 days.
30 days of intervention. Yeah.
And
With,
what did you measure an outcome or something?
I don't get your words.
What effects did you think you had?
The effects, yeah, the results. Could you see? Did you have feedback?
Yes, huge results. More than 3,000 children directly. We work directly with 3,000 children, 4 teams with 15 peoples, 15 pedagogics with the emergence pedagogy formation, and different newspapers and reporters covering the situation. It's so hard to deal with this kind of situation with reporters, but the huge results with more than 3,000 children. And we have in Brazil different situations in Petrópolis and north and different areas. We have much work to do here in Brazil.
And just obviously just the logistics of organizing so many people is very complex. Like where, accommodation, materials, the food, all that. How do you manage that? Who does all your logistics to enable the teachers, the pedagogues to be able to actually be in the field?
Yeah, it's a very complex operation, very complex. The projects with different levels of complexity. And this kind of work, the emergency pedagogy, we can do together. There's no way of doing with just 2-3 peoples. We need a team. So we have different skills in our team. Project manager, administration stuff, logistic stuff, not just only pedagogue, not just teachers. We have different kind of abilities in our team.
And then just last question from me, the funding. Interested in how you organize it within Brazil. Is the funding within Brazil? Do you have, as you supported from the Freunde in Germany? How do you manage the cost, which is obviously quite substantial?
Yeah, we have the proper way of getting money. We autosufficient here in Brazil. We for each intervention we write a project with the template of project, and the institution from Brazil pay for the project. You understand? We use the social network, and the people apport donation with our association here in Brazil, and we don't have any problem with the money here in Brazil. It's very interesting.
So it's not government, it's private individuals donate?
What?
Is it
I beg your pardon.
it's individuals, people donate money, not the government?
Not the government. We don't have money support from the government. We have money support from directly individual donations and the institutions, social institutions like World Vision. Do you know World Vision?
Yes,
Yeah.
got it.
It's
NGO.
one of the partners here in Brazil. But we have Mali Foundation. Do you know Mali? Mali, Deborah, know Mali? Mali is a automobilistic fabric, industrial automobilistic pieces, and is an anthroposophical business founded by anthroposophical guys. And the 6% of the profit around the world, 6% of the profit, they make donation to the anthroposophical movements around the world. Is a partner for us.
I would have a question.
Okay.
Sorry. Last time we met someone, and she was working in a war zone, and she was permanently working there. And as I understood, she would work with the same children for a long period of time. And I also understand that, in some instances you would go there and would only work there for a week or, a few days and then would leave again. And how is it for you in Brazil? Is it the same cohort of children, or does it change? Or because as teachers, when we talk, we always have our own classes in mind and our own students, which have potentially experienced some sort of trauma. But for us, obviously, that's not something we go in for a few days and then leave them. So for us, it is kind of like a continuously, like a situation that stays. And I was wondering what your experience is in that instance.
Okay, very good question. We're talking about the emergency pedagogy. So our focus is dissolve the symptoms of trauma. And at the third day number 3, we can see the symptoms are gone. It's very interesting. With this kind of activities organized, in the third day, the symptoms is gone. So we stay 6 days among the children. And our job is dissolve the symptoms. That's the objective. After that, we do workshops to the local teachers in order to understand the trauma and the activities. But our job is done in 2 weeks.
Does that answer your question? It did. It really did, because that's how I understood it. But I was a bit confused last time with Fatima, and I might have misunderstood it, but I understood she was working
a very long time with some of the students or the children, or no, it's really impressive, and I really can see how that works, and I just wonder, I can imagine that in some instances it works better, and depending on the situation, there's a lot more work needed, and therefore those mentoring the mentors basically is such an important part. Yeah.
That's exactly it. I think you need to remember the different types of trauma. And if you go into complex trauma, then, you're working obviously a bit longer. And especially like in South Africa, where it repeats itself and so on, you can also constantly work.
Yeah. And I guess from our perspective as teachers, we are teachers, we are not psychologists or behavior therapists. And, there's sometimes a fine line for us to navigate, to understand this is still our, environment, I guess, but also to understand, okay, I'm here at the end of my professional judgment, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly. You can also ask Timeo, because he works obviously in Kakuma, and he can tell you what the story is there. So, and he's got his hand raised. So there we go.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kiki. And Anna, yeah, I understand your question, because sometimes it's very difficult to understand how it works out because of the different contexts we are in globally. And the question you've asked, I think it depends, it's case by case, because like in Kakuma, here we've refugees from of 8 countries in Africa who are hosted in Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya. And we have the reception centers where it's like the first once refugees come from the borders, at first they're accommodated at the reception centers for them to go through the processes, get the mandate if they are refugees or the asylum seekers, and it can last for 3 to 4 weeks for them to get the right documentation, because the refugees will not be at the reception center for long. Reception center is like a holding center where they come, they are accommodated there for some time. They are given food, the documentations. They also, given the manifests, so that once they are relocated to the community, they are able now to start life. And before then, at the community level, we also have, like in Kakuma, we have over 40 NGOs who are working in different sectors. So we are working under UNHCR, and the refugees, they have to be relocated to the community. But before they are relocated, of course, there are houses, accommodations that are constructed for them. So at the reception center, we have the child-friendly spaces, like now the ones Waldorf are running. And these child-friendly spaces, these are for the children who come, they are traumatized, they are not able to join school. So we prepare them informally to join school. We stabilize them, through what we call the 7 lively arts, art and play activities that they are able to. We are able to calm them down. We are able to understand what they are going through, and through the activities that we are doing, artistic activities, they are able to tell their stories through the work of art. And at that point now we are able to support them so that, we understand the kind of life they are going through. And you see, again, when we are doing activities like the painting, we are also teaching them how to, they're holding a brush, they are, we teach them how to hold a pen. We are in a way preparing them to join school because when they come at that time, mentally they are not able to join school because of the experiences that they have gone through. So child-friendly spaces are just temporary programs for children to stabilize them and then transit them to school. But again, at the community level, there are centers for children to go and play. After school, they can come, play, and then they go home. So it depends case by case. We were in Ethiopia for the emergency pedagogy intervention, and the situation there is completely different from Kakuma, and whatever we found there was quite different. And you see now in Kakuma, we receive children who have gone through traumatic experiences in other countries, and now they come to Kakuma where there is peace. But now in
And now we lost him.
Was lost, totally lost. Oh gosh.
Okay. So I think we are now ready for the closing circle then, unless there's any other question, we can close the circle. And yeah, we close the circle and who needs to go can go. And if there's still questions, we can also hang back a bit. So.
Well, I have another meeting, a presential meeting in 40 minutes, so I can't stay here anymore.
Okay,
so
thank you so much, Paulo.
But we can do the cycle together, and if you want to stay to talk after that, okay? So
great.
Let's go to our circle time. Mute okay, everybody mute. Andrew and Jackie, please mute your mic.
Paulo, can you
Okay.
change your setting to if you go to the audio settings, you can change it to music. There's a musician setting, and we'll be able to hear your stringed instrument properly.
I don't know how to do that.
It's under audio and your original sound for musicians. And you go audio profile, and it says there's a little dot selected that says original sound for musicians, and it'll
original
pick up the
sound.
This is audio and then audio profile. I think that might help you.
Original sound for musicians.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Echo cancellation, high fidelity music mode. Echo cancellation. That's it, Marcos. Okay. Nice. Let's see. Okay. Marcos is good.
I can't quite hear it, but when you sing, it might work.
Paulo, we can't hear you. And also, don't we start with a rhythm?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, guys, I got disconnected. I have internet challenges here. Yeah, but I'm back. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Paulo has to go to another meeting, so we were about to close the circle, and then those who have still questions can hang.
Okay. Palo, 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 bonito, paloe. Palo, 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 bonito, paloe. Palo, bonito, paloe. Palo, bonito, paloe. Palo, 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 bonito, paloe. Palo, 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 bonito, paloe. Palo, bonito, paloe. Palo, bonito, paloe. Oh. These little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. These little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. These little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Okay, you can speak with me and keep muted. Ready? And watch your breath, what your breath does. Above me, the heavens. Below me, the earth. And here am I. Above me, the heavens. Below me, the earth. And here am I. Thank you, everybody. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everybody. I'm so glad to be with you guys. I hope to see you again soon. Have a nice night. And for me, day.
All the best
Bye-bye.
for your day.
Thank you, everyone. That was
Thank you
wonderful.
so
Thanks,
much.
Paulo. That was fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you. And Kimu, thank
Yes,
you as well.
thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Yeah, that was wonderful, your presentation. Thank you.
Okay. When's the next one?
Bye, everyone.
I think it's now, as far as I understood, it's the next group. So I think we will have to now get them organized, that they find each other and then see how that goes. So I think, yeah. It's now going to be Bella, who was here today, and then Tet and the two ladies from Lebanon that you met, I think.
Can you hear me? Oh, good. I think we said
Yes.
2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now is the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what we put in the dates. But yeah, I'll let everyone know.
Good, right.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
amazing. Really, really amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elia, here we come.
On the way. Thank you, Camus.
Thank you, Camus.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Actually, I did have one more question for you, Camus. With your ongoing, because it's in a refugee camp and your reception, do you have different teams come in, or is it that emergency pedagogy initial team has trained everyone, and that you're now holding that space? I just wanted to see, how there's the trend.
Yeah, we work with we have the refugee staff whom we have trained. We have capacity built them.
Yeah.
But these trainings, they are continuous. We get a lot of support from Freunde, who from Germany, who from time to time they do come to Kakuma with people with different, skills and abilities, just to capacity build our refugee staff. And also in Kenya, we have a very strong world of schools. And we've trained teachers from world of schools in Kenya, who from time to time, once they are invited by the organization, they come to Kakuma and keep on capacity building our staff. But in normal situations here, the national staff, we do a lot of capacity building to also our refugee staff. So we get a lot of support from ourselves internally, and then from Freunde, Germany, and also from the World of Schools in Nairobi, Kenya.
Yeah, wonderful.
Kim, just a question then. Are you, in a sense, it's almost permanent work, you meeting the children who are coming in? There's a continual stream of children coming in that you're working with to prepare them for school. That's the picture I'm getting of what you're doing. Is that correct?
Sorry, the children, are they?
So you're, in a sense, whereas Paulo talked about 30-day intervention, going to one place and then coming away, are you more permanently working in that refugee camp, and there is a continual stream of children coming in who are traumatized, and you're working with them so they can then go to school in a more normal way. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct. The Kakuma situation is different from other countries. Like before I got disconnected, I was speaking about Ethiopia. And you see, these are, like in Ethiopia, these are places that have, they have gone through war and crisis, like now what is happening in Lebanon. So the team, Paulo was talking about the interventions is we assemble teams and then we go for intervention in different countries depending on the situation, like what we went to do in Ethiopia, because there was crisis in the Tigray region. So that was intervention for like 2 to 3 weeks, and then we came back. But now the Kakuma situation is different because there is no war in Kenya. They are running to Kenya for refuge. So once they come to Kakuma at the reception center, the refugees, they keep on coming. We stabilize them, they are taken to the community, and others come. So there is that cycle of you may have children within 2-3 weeks, and after 3 weeks, they are relocated to the community. You are getting different, kind of children, different altogether.
Yeah.
So that is now the situation in Kakuma. Yeah, I don't know whether I've answered your question, Andrew.
You did. That's exactly what I was just asking. Just the difference between that and the more short intervention.
And the interventions are not normally 30 days. So 14 days is the normal intervention, what's aimed for the tsunamis and the earthquakes and things like that.
So
that's the classic emergency pedagogy, so to say.
Yeah. So if there's for places like Ukraine and Gaza, and Lebanon at the moment, that are this ongoing crisis situation, how do you send in? So do you still do the 30 days and then you just send a new team? How does that work to support those kind of situations?
So how it all started in 2006 was you get a catastrophe, so to say, and then you go, and then you see if you can train the local people to hold it, kind of thing. And I think now in Kakuma you have it. There is also a slow ball holding, but you hold a child's friendly space. And in Lebanon, they've also trained people there. So there is a place where they can hold that. But of course, now in Lebanon, it's ongoing. So it has to happen. The people there have to hold it permanently. And there's other places where from each country goes in a little bit of a different way according to their needs. You have to develop it once you know what the need is for what. So you in Australia could, if you have a small team, you could say, there's floods somewhere, we're going to approach somebody and let them know that we're there and we open that space, and that would be your first intervention where you aim for a short term. And if the interest is there, you try and train already the parents or whatever and the things. And then from there on you build, kind of thing. But yeah,
that makes sense. So so you're basically teaching people to fish in a lot of ways.
Kiki, what's your role? You're doing this in South Africa?
So I got involved in 2017, and I'm trying to hold the group here together, which is very difficult because it's all on voluntary basis. And in South Africa, volunteer work is not regarded as well. And I'm not a great fundraiser, so I've never gotten to a point from a pure capacity point of view that we were able to raise funds and get it going organized from that perspective. And we have also the problem, we being kind of the white middle-aged ladies, so to say, that are now trying to teach another culture, again, something where it's at the moment all a bit like we've had enough of this. So it's not easy from that respect as well. And so we have to slowly build up the younger generation and work on that and make it known first until we get a solid base of people that are trained. And then you've got the problem that I haven't solved here yet, that it is very easy to bring this across to you who are Waldorf trained, but if you don't have a base of Waldorf people, then you have to develop it how you bring it to people who are not Waldorf trained. And that's why I always wanted to come to Kakuma, because that's exactly the situation you find yourself there in, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're saying that in Kakuma, the situations is that they've successfully taught non-Steiner teachers how to hold emergency pedagogy. Good place to visit.
Kimio, I think you can answer that.
Deborah, come again, kindly.
So I was just saying that in Kakuma, because Kiki was saying that the tricky thing is when you're trying to teach non-Waldorf trained teachers, so just anyone, how to hold this emergency pedagogy. I just got the impression that at Kakuma you've been successful with that.
Very, very successful. First you have to identify people who can work with children, who have passion for children. And in our program, in the child-friendly spaces, we have a model where before you get employed as the staff working with children, you go through a phase of observation for like 3 months. sometimes more, depending on how fast you integrate and uh, understand your understanding with children. So we take you that phase, because some people just come looking for work because they need the money, or they are just idle and they want to be busy. But here we want people who can interact with children and to protect them.
Yeah.
These are children who are going through a lot, and they need our support, and they need to be protected. They need to be supported. So we need people who have passion for the work.
Yeah.
So after the phase of identify the staff we can work with, then now we start the trainings. Even at that moment where you have just joined in, regardless of whether you have passion or not, before we identify you, we are doing a lot of trainings. And at that time, we are able to tell whether you can work with children or not. So now, after we pick you up, now the trainings continue. So it has been a very, very successful model. And here in Kakuma, other organizations, they know child-friendly spaces are world of child-friendly spaces are world of baby. We're the ones who started child-friendly spaces, and we are doing very well. The UNHCR recognizes us. So the issue is now to keep on fundraising, because these children, they keep on coming and going to the community, and they need a lot of support in terms of teachers, in terms of materials, in terms of structures where children feel safe, playing equipment and stuff.
Do you find, Camille, that you can also remind them of their own childhood games that they played, and then they understand, oh yes, that was fun and that was a nice movement and things like that? Or is that not something you can go back to?
Yes, we have a lot of games, and sometimes also we give children opportunity to take lead in these activities, and they bring games from their country. They can bring games from their culture. That's really accepted and universal. And from that, you are able to relate the activity that you are doing with what they were doing when they were young. And very interesting games. You may do it this way, but they know it in different model. And that one also becomes very interesting for the children. So we accept dynamism from different countries and from different cultures as we guide them on also what we want to.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. It's inspiring. I'm left feeling grateful that I'm a Waldorf teacher, and that when we learn about this intervention, I actually have the skills already. Like, I know that I have those skills, and that it can be used in such a profound way that can make a difference in like quite a short period of time. And I've also noticed that within my own class. So just thank you so much for giving your time for us to hear about your situation in Kakua and Kiki. I'm just really deeply grateful, and I know that we all are. So I just want to give my heartfelt thank you for talking with us and sharing your experience with us.
Yeah.
Great. I'm really excited for your group. It's a fabulous group. And I can tell you, if you join the network, you're joining an international network, and you will get ideas from Indonesia and from Argentina, and those that you haven't even thought about yet. And it's amazing. Like, I learned about the tissue angel out of just paper tissues, and with a little story with it. And the next one brought from Mexico, the peace birds, and it's a world.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Kiki, can I just say, and look, I found this. I've been teaching for 30 years, and it's absolutely re-inspired my whole commitment to the things we always took for granted that Waldorf teachers do.
Yeah.
To every day in the classroom. And to then know that this is therapy for deeply traumatized children is quite extraordinary. It actually reconfigures the whole sense of what a Waldorf teacher is.
Yeah.
I'm about to go into a
And
training program with teachers that I'll be, and it's really reinvigorated my whole way of approaching it. So thank you. And
I
Camille,
think
hearing your stories, by the way, just so finally, Camille, hearing those stories about the refugee camp, absolutely extraordinary and very inspiring. Thank you.
so. On that note, just to say, Andrew, I think it is also for the Waldorf school who are facing, I don't know, whatever funny crisis is coming from wherever. I think this is also a new way of promoting us as
yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, very true. Very true. Definitely. We need to just thinking about how we put it out there and how we work with it. But it is, you're exactly right there, Kiki. So thank you.
But we are getting so many more children now who can really benefit from it,
Great.
provided we have the resources and the personnel to do it, I guess. But yeah, no, it's excellent.
Indeed, Anna. Oh,
Thank you. Have a
All right. Thanks so
fabulous-
much.
have a lovely day where you are.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello.